Now I want to have a look at what is known, or what I'm going to call, a Bizchat agent. I'm not sure if that's exactly the right terminology, but a Bizchat agent will basically appear in this chat style interface inside the Copilot area in Microsoft 365. Now, if we have a full license of Copilot for Microsoft 365, over on the right hand side we get the option to actually go in and create or build an agent. Now, because this tenant doesn't have a license of Microsoft 365 Copilot, we don't get that capability to natively build an agent directly from the Bizchat interface which we see on the page here. However, what we have done previously is we have tied an Azure subscription for the billing to this tenant, which means that I can actually create a Bizchat agent, and I can do that inside Copilot Studio. So if I navigate to Copilot Studio, having set up the Azure billing and whatnot, you'll see in here that I have a list of agents, but it's important to remember that I need to change to the environment that is linked to that Azure billing so that the agent will operate, and any of the costs of that agent on a per usage basis will be billed against that Azure subscription. So you need to go in and make sure you've set up the environment, and then secondly you need to make sure that you switch to that environment when you're going in to create a Bizchat agent. Now, in other videos I've showed you how to create a standalone agent here. This F1 agent was the example. What I'm going to show you here with Bizchat agents, we go in and we select the option here, Copilot for Microsoft 365, because what we're going to do is we're going to extend the functionality of the native Microsoft 365 Copilot to include this Bizchat agent. So to commence that process, what I need to do is select the option there, so I can go in here and select the option Copilot for Microsoft 365. So you'll see here that I now get a similar sort of interface to what I got with the full agent, but not quite so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select the option to add an agent right there. Now I'm going to go through the familiar chat interface. So I'm going to go, please create an agent to answer questions about Microsoft 365 Business Premium. Okay, so we go in there and we can describe our agent, answer the questions. You'll see that we can also jump to the configuration as we could do before. You'll see it builds out the agent as it did before. So I'm happy with that name. So we're going to call it Microsoft 365 Assistant and let it keep building out there. All right, so what we want the agent to do, we want it to be able to answer questions about the technical configuration of Microsoft 365 Business Premium. All right, let it keep going through that, and we can go in and edit this and modify this after the fact. You can create the Bizchat agent any way you want. We can go over here to the skip to configure, and you'll see here that it has given us the name, the description, the instructions, any starter prompts, and we can also put in here any knowledge. Now when we select knowledge, you'll see you have the same sort of functionality as we had when we created a standalone agent. We can select different locations or different URLs inside our SharePoint. We've also got the ability here to go into the advanced options and select from a number of these if they are available. All right, so we can add our knowledge sources here. You'll see that we can also have an additional setting to allow it to browse the web. So that's what we're going to do in this case, rather than giving it a specific knowledge location. I'm going to go in and create the agent once I've configured it. And what will happen is it'll create that agent, and then what it'll do is it'll give me a URL that I can then use and add the Bizchat agent I've just created into my Bizchat interface. So give that a moment for the agent to finish completion, and then we can go in and we can take that URL, we can add it to our own environment here, we can also add it to other people in the organization. Alright, so there we go. So hopefully it's all set up, ready to go here. Alright, so we're happy with it, looks good. We can go over here and we can test it. Alright, but the first thing we need to do after creating it is we need to publish it. All right, so you'll see here the agent will be published in Microsoft Copilot and Teams by default. All right, we kind of don't get the option to publish it anywhere else because remember this agent is a Bizchat agent style available in that interface, so we can go in and put in descriptions in there. I'll leave that. I'm going to push the publish. So it's going to publish that agent for us, create it, and make it available to our audience. Again, that'll just take a moment while it does create that. We can, of course, go back in at any point, edit it, update, change it, and republish it. The main thing to remember here, the important thing with any agent you create in Microsoft 365 is going to be when you change an agent, make sure you do go in and publish it so those latest changes are then available to those people that are using that agent. So always remember to publish when complete. Alright, so I'll just pause the video, I'll let this process complete and I'll come back. Alright, so the publishing process has finished. We see that we have our link here, so let us copy that to the clipboard. You'll see I can control the user access, so everybody who has access to it. I can control to my teammate and shared users, or I can make it everybody in my org, and I can download it as a zip file if I want to do that. All right. So the idea here is that let's say we want to show it to people in Teams. You'll see here that we go through and we have to answer a few additional questions here, and we can send an invitation to users. So let's go in here and add another user that I have in my tenant here. All right, so add the new users. I'm not going to make them an editor, so they'll only be able to consume or use the agent. They won't be able to go in and create it, but I could do that if I want. So I'm going to go in there and just select that to share. So that means now that I've created an agent that if I took that link, I could use it directly for myself. However, what I want to do is create an agent and share that with other people in my org and prevent them from making any changes to it. So, okay, happy with that. So again, let's make sure that we have a copy of that. I will take that link, I will put it into a new browser window here. All right, let it basically launch. Oops. Oh no, here it comes. Up it comes here. You'll see that I can add that agent in there. Give it a moment to fully render. And I should be able to add this. Now remember that I'm going to add this to my own environment. So that looks good, looks familiar. You'll see I've got the permissions options here, and I can copy another link there if I want, but I'm going to add that. Okay, so that's going to add it to my own personal Bizchat after myself going in and creating it. So give that again a moment for it to go in and apply that to my environment. And then if I go into the Bizchat interface, I should be able to go in and see that agent on the right hand side. Okay, so it's swapping out to Copilot there, and I'm going to close this window, give it a sec for it to render the page. So here is my Bizchat page. Now over on the right hand side where I saw the option before to get an agent, you'll now see that the agent the Bizchat agent I created called Microsoft 365 Assistant is available. If I select that, then it is a focused agent on the knowledge and the topic and the source or the sources that I gave it. So I go in here and say, please explain how to enable pass keys in Microsoft 365 Business Premium. Hit the button and wait for it to go off and generate that information. Right, now over here I can go in, I can pin this to my Bizchat desktop, and if I want I can also go in here and uninstall it if I want to do that. Now if I quickly swap across to another user here, so they're in dark mode as you see, so a completely different user in this case. So what I'm going to do here is again open a new link. I'm going to paste that same link that I used to create the Bizchat agent for myself, and hopefully it's going to allow me with the appropriate permissions that I've set up to also add that agent into the capability for this particular user. Alright, so it's going to again go through the similar process with this secondary user and allow me to once again add it in. So I'm going to add it in for this additional user there, give it a moment, and then it should pop up to the Bizchat interface for this secondary user and then give me the same sort of experience as I saw before. So it'll build out the agent as expected in the Bizchat interface. Let's just close this initial window here. You'll see once again the agent is there and available for this user to use. So if I go in here and say, please explain shared computer activation, hit enter, it will then give me the answer based on that knowledge source for this particular user. The user can continue to use the chat without any issues, but they will not be able to go in and edit it because I'm controlling the permissions, but they can take advantage of that. So that's how easy it is to go in and create a Bizchat agent. And of course, what we can do is if we at any point want to go back in and edit, that agent, update it, the important thing is firstly to make sure you're in the appropriate environment linked to the Azure subscription. You would then go into the agents option here on the left, select Copilot for Microsoft 365, and up the top here you'll see you have the option for agents. Select that, and now we can go in and we can edit this agent, update it, change its knowledge sources, change the description of it, and don't forget that any changes that you do make sure that you do publish that, and then that will then be available to users as well. So that's how we can go in and we can edit that capability. So important to remember that Bizchat agents are not available unless generally you have a full license of Microsoft 365 Copilot. So you're not going to be able to create agents unless you have that full license. Now, if you tie a Azure subscription to Copilot Studio, then what you can do, as mentioned, is go in and create a standalone agent, as I've covered before, but you can also go in and create a Bizchat agent. And once you create that Bizchat agent, manage its permissions, that can be pushed into the Bizchat interface, as we see here, for that user that created and potentially every other user in the environment. The billing for that will be again billed against the Azure subscription. So this means that the users who want to take advantage of Bizchat agents don't necessarily need to have a full license of Microsoft 365 Copilot. They can use the capability in Bizchat agents via someone creating that, publishing it to them, and the billing be done and connected to Azure subscription. So really easy to use, and probably an interim step before working out as a proof of concept to determine exactly how many people, what is the best value for full licenses of Microsoft 365 Copilot. As an interim step, you do have this ability to connect a lot of the AI in Copilot to an Azure subscription. One of those is the ability to create Bizchat agents connected to an Azure subscription, as mentioned here, and publish that to the user as well as everybody else on the team. So thank you very much for watching this video.